I be on the low, I don't talk a lot. You talk more shit than the beauty shop. We can get it poppin' like the parking lot. We can get it poppin' like the parking lot.
So what do you have here, young lady?
So if you're like over like 35 or 40, you're trying to figure it out, here are small things you can do. You can roll. This is an extension. You can ab roll, okay?
Now, is that how they're supposed to do it?
I think so.
I think you got to go a little lower.
Oh, a little. Oh,
all the way.
Got me over here doing the snake and shit.
I'm canceling this. Yo.
What's up, people? It's your girl, Miss Phenom.
And it's your girl, Bonnie Stone, and you are now tuned into
Question the Culture. Back for another.
I'm gonna need a shot glass. No, pardon. I'm gonna need a champagne glass, a wine glass. I already got the wine glass. No, but I need another wine glass. All right. I'm gonna need a champagne glass, a wine glass, and some motherfucking mugs for tea with Bonnie Stone and Miss Phenom. Question the Culture.
Yo, I was already thinking that we need to get in a merch life. People be wanting the shirts with the little taglines that we say. We need to get on that. Do you have a yogi tea today? I have one. It says, give love, get love.
No, I only have twinning.
Oh, well, we're kind of.
Twinning. I like it. You see how it's just working out for us today?
Just be out here.
You know what? We've always had that energy.
We did. I don't know where it's from. Well, we always say, so make Sex in the City. Shout out to everybody that rocks with Sex in the City. I heard they're rebooting. We didn't even get to our honorable mentions yet.
I'm like so excited about Sex in the City rebooted. I'm like a little freaking kid.
They can unlimitedly reboot Sex in the City for me. I love that shit.
And some nights I wake up because my sleep pattern is so disgusting. So I'll be up at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And when they do those episodes back to back, oh my God, it just makes me the whole night. And I laugh like I haven't seen them.
Because it's even more relatable the older you get. Yep. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get it started with our honorable mentions. And today we're going to start off with an RIP to the legendary Henry Hank Aaron, who is a baseball legend and all-time home run record holder for 33 years, okay? He still holds many MLB offensive records to this day, and he's played 23 seasons, and he is highly respected in the MLB. And as African-American doing this thing in a sport that we know we have trouble getting into, we celebrate you, Mr. Hank Aaron. Now, we have Bianca Smith keeping it with baseball, who earned her coach's spot with the Boston Red Sox. She has become the first Black woman to be a pro baseball coach. Okay, shout out to you, Miss Bianca Smith. Keeping in tune with these females doing a first, Jennifer King is also becoming a first, as she is the first full-time African-American woman coach in the NFL. Okay, the Washington football team will make her a full-time offensive assistant after spending this past season as a coaching intern. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Lady. These ladies is out here on the front line. Then we have Pat McGrath, who became the first makeup artist to be named a dame by the Queen of England. She is a legendary beauty entrepreneur, influencer, and she was named a dame by Queen Elizabeth on New Year's Day. She is the Dame of the British Empire for services to fashion and beauty and diversity. So shout out to you, Miss Pat McGrath, and I'll give you a lovely bow. Next up, Apple has announced a set of major new projects as a part of its $100 million racial equity and justice initiative. They are in the process of creating programs to assist in our real world day issues. So they're not only taking, they're giving back to our community. So we appreciate Apple for investing in the urban community with programs that are needed to put to an end this racial injustice. I want to wrap this up with a couple of reviews. The inauguration just passed, and we had a sister girl, Amanda Gorman, who was 22 and the youngest poet recorded to ever perform at an inauguration. Did you catch the inauguration, B Stone?
No, I did not catch that.
Okay.
Black excellence.
So Amanda Gorman, who was also, she had a piece of jewelry. People might have thought it was cute, but it was actually gifted to her by Oprah Winfrey to wear in honor of Maya Angelou, who we also know has been one of the most amazing speakers at an inauguration. So that's beautiful to know. And big up to you, Amanda Gorman, on your first. We had a lot of Black women doing a lot of firsts, and we appreciate
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. So now we're gonna go, because last time we left y'all, we was all sad and lonely because we was waiting on his verses to hit. Now we done seen the verses. B Stone, your thoughts? Because it was a lot of mixed emotions.
I liked it. I mean, I was able to look past all the bullshit. And I did exactly what I came for, to listen to the music, and I loved every bit of it.
I don't understand why people are confused. Is Keisha Cole, they want to talk about she came in there with some ratchet. First of all, did we all forget Keeping It Frank or whatever when she did the whole thing? We know Keisha Cole's vibes. We know how she do. She a little rough around the edges.
Right.
Let her be.
Stop complaining. I don't care if she sounded like a dog getting ran over. That is Keisha Cole, period.
It is Keisha Cole.
Like, come on, man. Y'all expecting to hear like Mariah Carey. Get out of here. It doesn't work like that.
And they expected her to be not her, just because, and I love Ashanti. I loved her personality. I loved everything. But they are two different people in the real world. Ashanti and Keisha Cole ain't coming with the same energy, and not to say Keisha's was negative, but she ain't gonna be Ashanti. So everybody's like, oh, Ashanti's being professional. He's just being the Keisha.
No, and I hate that language. Why can't it just be Ashanti have more showmanship? Because I think in the Gucci Jeezy battle, I like Gucci showmanship more than the actual records. Why can't it just be she had better showmanship? Why does it have to be she's this or more professional? You don't know that when it's time to hit the business. Like, I just hate how they always put stigma on Black people. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit, man.
Facts. We can't just be us without it being
why can't people give justice to the Black woman?
But that's all I got for honorable mentions. These songs, it's been a crazy week, man.
I love it, as usual. All right, what's our topic this week?
So, keeping in a vibe, last week we talked about teachers with COVID-19. And another thing that's going on in COVID-19 is health awareness. One of the biggest issues that we hear about fighting this COVID-19 is making sure your immune system is up. We're in quarantine. People may not want to work out. People are not getting the proper sunlight they should for that energy. Like, we're being deprived of a lot of vitamins and things of that nature. So we want to kind of discuss that. And I want to know, like, as far as you, how have you been keeping yourself focused when it comes to like a regimen? Because it's easy to fall off and get lazy because you ain't going nowhere, not doing anything. How are you holding up as far as keeping yourself in a regimen? And how is that helping you get through COVID, if it is?
I think I've been doing well. After during COVID, when it first happened, I was definitely one of those eating, drinking, sleeping, like, oh, this is just great to be off. And then, you look and you start stepping on the scale and it's like, oh my God, what just happened? So when things opened back up, I was really mindful. So every day in the morning, it's tea or with lemon or honey or regular green tea. So I try to do 3 cups of tea a day. Since the gym's opened back up, I'm definitely in the gym at least 4 times a week. Weight, cardio, whatever I need to do. I laid off the alcohol a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to step back from that because that can keep you in kind of like a weird space.
Sure.
And then really just paying attention. I have my vitamins that I take and to boost my immune system. But for the most part, I eat healthy anyways. I'm in transition of purchasing a home. So my kitchen is like poop where I'm at. So I've been ordering out a little bit more than I typically like to. So once I get back on track and can get in the kitchen and throw down, I think things will definitely be better, because like my juicer's packed away, my blender's packed away.
Right.
You know, the essential shit that I need is like packed away, my food processor, all that. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that's it really. What about you?
I started COVID-19 like super focused. I saw like a lot of people getting depressed on my timeline. So I started to do like this workout like every Saturday, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel better. But then I kind of like fell back on it, but I try to at least go outside once a day, even if it's just a walk around the block or things like that. I try to do that. And get some sunlight. I like to go out first thing in the morning. I think that's important. I think we don't realize how much the sun, when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you you're low in vitamin D, go on vacation and go get some sun. Like people really don't understand how quarantining can affect you from getting certain vitamins from just our solar energy. So I try to be outside. I'm finding I don't really care to eat meat like that anymore. So I've kind of curbed my diet, try not to have as much meats and stuff like that. And I don't think I'm doing too well as far as actively taking vitamins and stuff like that. So I do want to get more into that habit. I don't want to be somebody just focuses on fixing what I see.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I
No,
want to
that's
get
good.
back into more.
That's good that you say that, because I think often that is what people do. They go, oh, let me fix this, but they forget about the inside. So that's a good point. Yeah, I take my zinc.
Yeah.
It's just like I've been really paying attention, getting into that more, vitamins for sure, more than I
And it
have
really
in
helps. It
recent
really
years.
like
I think so.
something.
I think it evens out, and you have to be consistent. So a lot of people, they don't understand that. So you got to give it like a month before you start like seeing the effects of it. But
Okay.
yeah, energy. I take a probiotic for gut health. I have like terrible acid reflux and stuff like that. So that's really been helping me. Zinc to build up your immunity. I take my multivitamin. B complex vitamin is good for mood as well.
For mood.
Yeah,
I need to load up on that because I'll be moody like a mug.
Yeah, especially, you know, when we start PMSing, like that is one thing that I have definitely noticed.
Really?
I have not been like a raging bitch in like months. And trust me, my shit was bad.
Wow. B
Yeah.
complex, that it'll help you with your mood.
Yeah, it'll stabilize,
balance.
it'll stabilize your mood. And then sometimes I get like
Ladies,
arthritis.
that's a gem right there because that I did not know. Well, we definitely have somebody today that's going to be able to open the threshold of all the avenues of health awareness that we could possibly get to you in this episode. So get your pens and your papers, and instead of your poisons and your pleasures, get your smoothie or your tea, and let's have a good health awareness episode as we bring in our third opinion. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Welcome to Question the Culture, Mr. Sean D.O.C, Director of Calisthenics. Welcome to Question the Culture with Miss Phenom and
Bonnie Stone. And Doc, it's so good to see you. Because every time I come to New York, you ain't never got your ID, and we can't never get together.
Yeah, man. I'm you know,
check that out for you.
So anything you guys are doing, I want to be a part of, especially something like this. This is a dope platform. So thank you for having me on the platform.
No, appreciate you for coming.
So we're going to get right down to it. Just give people a brief understanding of who you are when it comes to the health direction and, you know, what your life is about, your lifestyle, because we know this is a lifestyle for you, not just a thing.
Okay, well, I'm one of the, I guess, pioneer athletes from the calisthenic community. I've been competing and putting together competitions for about 11 years. I do calisthenic coaching, I do strength and conditioning. I just really delved deep into the fitness community. I started as a personal trainer and developed into what it is now. I've been an athlete liaison for the Urban Fitness League. I've done events with Mario Lopez and Davey. I've had some really nice events.
Big up the stomping grounds, which is Wingate Park.
That's where it all started.
where it all started. So shout out to Wingate Park in Brooklyn. Everybody
Shout
that
out to
knows about
Wingate,
that school.
Team Wingate, you know.
That's
If
a
you guys have a YouTube page, go check out Team Wingate on YouTube. That was the group that I got my start with. You know, I worked with those guys from day one, man. But in terms of the health awareness component of it, that's a little bit deeper. So, you know, Lisa, you know a little bit more. You know, I lost my mom to cancer, and so that kind of made things a little bit different in terms of how I maneuver when it comes to health. In our community, we kind of like eat whatever we want because we train so much. But that's really not the way I think, or it's not my belief system. I believe that there are things that can harm you, and I try to avoid those things. And I do believe prevention is always better than cure. So I try to combine fitness with health and nutrition, best of my ability.
Awesome.
You guys train every day?
Yeah, well, the system of calisthenics is a little bit different than bodybuilding. Bodybuilding has like splits where you choose specific muscle groups to work, and then you rest them. In calisthenics, it's multiple muscle groups working together, and you're not supposed to be, how do I explain it? Like, it's more of what your body can get used to, you do more of type of a situation. Like if, all right, so if I said, Bonnie, you know, punch the wall, you know, you'd be like, damn, Doc, you wildin', man, you gonna break my wrist. But in time, you develop a callus towards it, and you know, your knuckles get hard enough. That's kind of what calisthenics is. It's like all these muscle groups working together daily to accomplish whatever the task is you're asking it to do. It's become a culture, you know what I mean? So what we do is the advanced version of it, the competitive version of it. But at the beginning, at the base of it all, is just what we've all learned when we were in school, was push-ups, pull-ups, dips, you know, just stuff to keep you moving, being able to lift your body, pull your body, push your body, you know what I'm saying? So you could take rest. Of course you could take rest. You have to listen to your body to know when you need to take rest, but you can also do something every day, you know?
So I want to
work on a schedule where it splits. Like today I'm doing arms, and then tomorrow I'm doing legs, and so on and so forth. You should be trying hard to encompass and encapsulate as much as you can in your workout, as often as you can. Things like Zoom have become integral in working with people right now. I think it's important to try to find a group of people you can trust and use to hold you accountable and just getting moving, man. Like, if we don't move, if we live sedentary lifestyles with what's going on, it just adds to the potential fear and panic, you know, whatever. So I believe in a synergistic way of building, you know. So like right now it's us three talking on I would say this is a great way to set something up for the future. Say, hey, you know, why don't we work out at 7 p.m. every day for 30 minutes? You know, even if it's just something aerobic. I mean, like, to be honest, the basic things like push-ups, core work like sit-ups, leg raises, those things are fine for the house. There are ways to make them more efficient. Like, you can set a timer. This is one of my favorite workouts. Set a timer for like 10 minutes, and then set a certain number that you can do every minute on the minute for that time duration. So let's say it's squats. Say I'm gonna do 25 squats every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. It's a great workout. It's a great way to bombard the muscles. You can do that consistently for about 30 to 40 minutes, just changing the exercise routine around. Also, it's important to have certain things in the home that are preventative. Like I'm into nutraceuticals like sea moss, elderberry, dandelion root, olive oregano, things that will help fight off viruses, boost your immune system. It's imperative to have. Like, make sure you have vitamin D3, Make sure you have vitamin C. Oil of oregano is very important. It's very, very, very important. Most of us don't know about these things, but it's important to share that information. Black seed oil, a lot of things that can help clean your cells, get the mucus out of your body, and boost your immune system. You know what I'm saying? Sea moss is really popular right now, and it's great. There's nothing wrong with sea moss, but there's so many other things that you should also have at your disposal.
Do you think people are properly using these things? Like we hear, like you said, they're great trends. They're things that everybody can use. But I feel like people may want to eat healthy and see the word organic or see has ginger, and they automatically assume, oh, this must be a great product because it has these positive things. How can people decipher what's really healthy and what may be processed when they see those keywords that make them think this is a healthy food option?
I think you have to do your research, because at one time sea moss was fine, and then it became so popular that I think people are farming it now out of the ocean. So it's not necessarily that we're making poor choices. It's that it becomes so lucrative for certain people that they're going to figure out ways to make money from it. Just like our produce, you know what I'm saying? At the time, we never had to go, hey man, is this organic? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's business. So I think doing research is important. There are certain things you should inform yourself about, like if you have a pre-existing issue, is there a dietary change that you can make that might help it? You know, that can help that issue. Understanding that the body can heal itself from anything is the first step. And there's nothing that the body can't heal from. You don't have to teach it to heal. It already knows how to heal. We just do so much to our body that it can't heal itself the way it should. You know, it works hard to do regular stuff, you know. Anybody who's a holistic healer, I'm not a holistic healer, I'm just into health and nutrition. But anybody who is, whatever your issue is, the first thing they'll tell you to do is fast, right? Because the fasting allows your body to take the energy that it would use to break down whatever it is you're normally eating and gear that towards healing. You know what I'm saying? So the body can do what it naturally is supposed to do. But anyway, that's the first step, is understanding the body can heal from anything. And then just researching stuff. There's so much out there. And yes, being vegan and or plant-based is so trendy right now, but it's not a bad choice to make. It's just, I think the important thing is to search for what's healthy as opposed to what's popular.
Can you tell us some websites or books that you read for this information?
Yeah, Queen Afua. I don't remember the name of her book, but she has a ton of literature that's very, very important for men and women in terms of how to eat. I forgot the name of this book. I think it's called The African Diet.
I have that book.
Right.
It's a great book geared towards African Americans, because, you know, we're different than a lot of, I think people need to be mindful of these Caucasian diets too, because those things aren't necessarily for us, you know what I mean? So that is a good book. I do need to find it, Fee, if I can find it.
I mean, and it's from top to bottom. It's not just how we eat, it's the what we use on our skin, what we put in our hair. You know, it should be stuff for us. Our makeup is just different. There's some documentaries like What the Health, that's an important one to watch. There's a popular one on Netflix called Game Changers. That's more geared towards athletics. It's very popular though, because there's a lot of celebrities in it. But in terms of information, What the Health is a very informative documentary on what's going on with the health industry, nutrition, and what choices you can make on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, going into a Whole Foods doesn't mean that you're gonna make the right choices. You know what I mean? There's so much there that you can still eat that might be harming you. I said in the beginning when I first got on, like, you know, Lisa knows firsthand, like, how my mom passed. She actually had lung cancer, but she never smoked. She was never around smokers. I'm not saying that there aren't things in the atmosphere that can contribute to these situations. They obviously are, but the food in our neighborhoods, they're not helping us, man. They're doing so much damage to us in the long run, and we don't see the damage, so we continue. Everything is fine, it tastes good or whatever, so we just continue. But it really is doing us a lot of damage, and it's just important to do research so that even if we can't benefit as much as we could have, our children can. You know, I wish a lot of what I know now I knew when I was younger. You know, I'd be in a different place. But yeah, even if there wasn't a pandemic right now, these things are still imperative.
Now, you mentioned about being a vegan. So what do you say to somebody who wants to change their diet and they feel like, I'm going to be hungry because I'm not going to be full? Like, they're looking at still the wanting to be satisfied with the fulfillment of eating. What do you say to someone who's looking more like, that type of lifestyle is not going to fit me because I need some ribs to fill me up. I need my, things like that, my fried chicken. How you going to have a plate full of rice and vegetables and be full? What do you say to someone who just feels like that is not a lifestyle for them because they'll never be full?
I mean, to be honest, I try not to say anything. I give the person the option of absorbing whatever it is if you have questions, and that's it. Because when I made my choice, nobody forced me to.
I always say that you have to want to do these things. Like I get up in the morning and do my little something, nothing to what you're doing, but I make it a point to get out there and do something. I was just telling Phenom before you got on there, I usually try to go to the gym at least 4 or 5 times a week. And I know that if I don't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym, I'm not probably gonna go. So I make it a choice to get up at 6 and go, and it's not easy. And I think you're right, what you said about the being personable with people, because I can remember a couple of years ago when I was going to the gym heavy, it felt good to go to the gym and see the same people. Like, yes, I don't personally know you, but we're in here. Hi, how you doing? It's a little bit of chat, and now it's a community. So I wanted to go to the gym. You know what I mean? So it is a personal choice. I think everybody moves on their own beat of the drum. But I think a lot of people shy away, Phenom, and not even so much, it is kind of satisfaction, but not satisfaction of being full. But I think a lot of people in our community don't know how to cook these things. So it doesn't taste good to them. You know what I mean? Or they're not willing to open their palate, because I have these meals and people be like, ew, what are you eating? And I'm like, no, it's delicious. You have to know like what vinaigrettes and do your research. Like Doc said, do your research on everything, recipes.
Do you guys use certain cookbooks, Doc and Bonnie, for when you're cooking a certain, dish that is not the norm?
I'm always on Googling everything. Okay. Yeah. And it's a lot of trial and error. And there's things that stuck, and then there's things that are like, because I use a lot of one ingredient things. So I will go and grab the peppers and everything. And that's how I get my flavor, opposed to deep frying something, or I do a lot of baking and try to incorporate things that way. But I was a vegetarian for like a year. And for me, it was very difficult because of the menu aspect and not having time to really, you know what I mean, get it together. But
it's a dedication.
Doc, what was your transition? How was your transition?
In 2010, I did my first colon cleanse. Just did a 7-day detox and colon cleanse. A good friend of mine named Flo, he's a nutritionist. Mm-hmm. So I follow his system. And once I was finished with that, actual true story, I think I finished that Friday. I went to a barbecue that Saturday, right? So, when you do a cleanse, you're not supposed to go back to eating. Even if you decide to go back to eating meat, you still got to take a couple of days to like reacclimate your body, right? So all I had was fruit and salad for those days. So that day I'm at the barbecue and I can't eat that stuff anyway. And this girl walked by me with a plate of barbecue chicken. And out of nowhere, it just hit me. I was like, oh my God, I've been eating roadkill my whole life, man. Like, it just looked like a dead squirrel on a plate. That's all I saw was a dead squirrel. You know what I'm saying? And I've never eaten meat since then. But again, no one held a gun to my head. No one said do this or else. The information was always there. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to feel faster. I wanted to have a performance edge. So I said, all right, let me do this colon cleanse. Everybody always talks about it. I heard my parents talk about it. Let me try one. And that kind of shifted me in that route. But I really didn't know how to eat when I first transitioned into being vegan. So I would go to like the Rastafarian restaurants in the neighborhood, and they had just soy chunks everywhere, just all kinds of mock meat. And I didn't know that that wasn't necessarily the best either. So it took me a while, and you know, thankfully a lot of people along the journey taught me a lot in terms of how to make food for myself and the right way to eat and use to substitute this for that. But it's really not much difference, to be honest. Like, if you decide that what you want to do is eat whatever you want, that's cool. But if you cook your own food, you know, it's all about flavor. You know what I'm saying? If you don't season your food well, then it won't taste that good, right? It's the same thing with anything. If it's not like you love chicken because chicken is a delicious meat without you seasoning it, you have to season it properly. You do the same when with any type of vegan meals. It'll still taste good. It's just how you.
Yeah, but you know what it is though? A lot of times, because I know I sometimes struggle with it, it's texture too. And if you don't have the right textures in there, because it's for a lot of people, it's that meat texture. You'd be dying for that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure out. There's different, like I said, there's different ways to do it. It's everybody's not privy to it, and it takes time to do that.
That is true. There are different textures, but I think if you go into something with the mindset of, man, this thing better feel like the food I'm used to take. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking for textures and does this thing drip oil the same? You know, like those things, you almost like you don't want it to do good for you. Like you want a reason to not.
People like that drip though. People like that drip. They like that coming down the side. You know what I'm saying?
Where they had I've seen burgers where they put stuff in it to make it simulate bleeding. Like with people who like the steak bloody. I think that's crazy. But you know, to each his own. But
I like my steak bloody.
So now
one thing that you said though, one thing that was interesting that you said though, when I decided to become a vegetarian, it was for exact that reason, but in reverse. I would look at the meat, I was like, oh my God, the fuck. And yeah, so I thought that was funny.
That's kind of why I told you before, Doc, you came on, I was telling Bonnie the same thing, like as far as me, I just feel I'm not as turned on to meat as I used to be, like, because that's why when I look at it, for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, I just see something other than a delicious bread. You know what I'm saying? It just feels different. But I did want to ask you, when you mentioned the reason you got into it is because of your detox, how often do you think people should take time to detox and cleanse? Maybe it may not be a full-out colon cleansing, but, you know, to flush out the colon or the breakdown of the stomach fat to assist in the digestive system. How long in between, let's say you don't really give up on your diets or you curve it a little bit, but you haven't gone straight vegan or vegetarian. So you feel like doing this cleanse kind of balances it out. How often should someone do that?
I mean, I guess it depends on like you said, how intense of a cleanse you're doing. If it's like a full-on detox and colon cleanse, man, I think no matter what you're eating, even if you're the cleanest eater on earth, I think you should do that at least 3 to 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? If you,
so like every 3 months.
Yeah, like almost like seasons changing.
Okay.
That's kind of a base. Every time the seasons change, you should think about, all right, maybe I can do a cleanse. If you consume a lot of meat, you know, you smoke cigarettes or whatever, and you drink a lot of alcohol, you need to detox often. You know, I met a brother years back. He was in his 70s. He looked like he was in his 30s. So I talked to him a lot, and I met him through working out, but I had to pick his brain. I was sure he was going to tell me he was plant-based, but he wasn't. He ate meat for many years. However, he juices greens constantly throughout the day. Every single day, he juices all his greens. So he's inadvertently detoxifying every single day, and it does show. He looks fantastic. So well, I'm saying that to say, is if you know you're doing some things that might have an adverse effect on your health, then a detox is not an option; it's a necessity. You have to. You know, it's
Wait,
just a matter.
hold on 1 second, Fee. Is juicing different from consuming it? Like, or he just juices it to make it easier to digest throughout the day?
Juicing anything is going to get through. It's going to get to where it has to go much faster. The body has to work way less for it to do what it's supposed to do. That's the benefit of juicing. Smoothies, whatever. It's just, there's no breakdown. The body doesn't have to work hard to break it all down. It just goes where it's supposed to go to. So yeah, there's strong benefits to that. Which is why things like chlorophyll, like the tinctures, those little chlorophyll tinctures, those sometimes become very popular because people don't eat enough greens, and they can supplement it by just purchasing like a chlorophyll tincture that they could put in their water or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And there's levels to it. What's popular now, people do like 3 days to do like a 3-day juice cleanse. But I think what gets accomplished more by doing that is like a small weight loss. You lose a little bit of weight, and then you might put a little bit on, and you lose weight and put back on, whatever. So I think that's kind of what is the motivation for the 3-day juice cleanse thing. But it's important to just cleanse the body out. You know what I'm saying? It's just important. We have so many food cravings that we won't get rid of if we don't do that, especially sugar cravings. Those are very, very strong and very, very harmful. You know?
I read that when you start having more and more sugar cravings, that's actually a sign. Like when you have bloating, that's a sign that you need a cleansing. Like there's certain signs that your body gives you that we assume our body just telling us to consume more of it. But what our body's actually saying is, you're craving this, you need to detox this to negate that feeling. But we feed the feeling.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was if it's not helping you, it's hurting you. There's no in between. So we use terms like moderation, and it allows us to give us, like a little area where we can do
gray area
harmful things, how we feel it won't affect us, but it still affects us. It just makes us feel a little bit better. But it's the truth. The truth is there is no in between. It's either helping or it's hurting. And we just gotta choose what we prefer for ourselves. Now to swing back to the physical part about it, if we knew who we were and what we were capable of strength-wise, we probably would make better choices. We just don't know how strong we are. Women don't know how strong they are, and a lot of the men just think strength is all about brute strength. They don't know about their level of muscle endurance that they should be, or their stamina that they should be. What's up, man?
That's the future director of calisthenics right there.
What's up, man? You want to say hi? Say hi.
Can we make a muscle?
You say make a muscle.
There you go.
Huh?
Bye.
So you mentioned the 70-year-old man that looked like he was 30. So I want you to talk to our older people really quick. They're afraid to go out. They don't really want to work out. Let's be honest. They're really looking for something to go out. But this is something that is a necessity. And I know you can't make anybody do anything, but maybe somebody just needs to be told something. So maybe for the 60+ older person who is not going to the gym, who's not what are some things that they could think of that they probably wouldn't even think of as a workout, but it'll just be some mobility in their body, like lifting their legs and their arms while they're watching a TV show, like, you know, things like that.
I mean, it's going to be difficult for me to come up with what a person can or can't do because I don't know what their body will allow them to do. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is it's important to move. You have to move, man. Like like in our culture, in this environment, I would say, we love to go to the park, work out on the pull-up bars and push-up bars or whatever. But sometimes you go to the park and you see other cultures practicing Tai Chi. You'll see other cultures practicing yoga. And these are older people. But it's really about moving. You know what I mean? You have to move. You cannot be sedentary and think that you won't have issues. If you have a high-performance vehicle and leave it in the garage, it will not function properly when you try to drive it. You know what I'm saying? You can do a push-up or two, do that. If you can do a squat or two, do that. And those little reps, ones and twos or whatever, they definitely will add up. You just do them as much as you potentially can. Go check out Wingate Park. For anybody that's from Brooklyn, go to Wingate Park. There are people there that I know personally that hadn't started working out until they were in their mid to late 40s, that are now in their 50s, that look unbelievable. And I'm talking about they didn't start their fitness journey until they were in their 40s. You know what I'm saying? And they look fantastic. There's never a point in your life,
y'all.
There's never a point in your life where it's too late to get started. It may seem difficult, but don't use the examples of people who have not
Failed.
People that have done exactly what it is you're trying to do. And then maybe you could be the one to change the game too. If you can't find anybody else that could do it, it can be done. You know what I mean? There's no point where it's too late.
Water. There are so many different types of water, and everyone consumes water, and everyone figures water is doing its specific job of hydrating. But there are levels to this water game. So I just wanted you to talk a little bit about, like, you know, how you got the alkaline water, how people focus on the pH. Like, if you're not drinking water that has a specific pH, then you might as well not drink water. Like, these are some of the conversations being had about water at this point. So talk a little bit about that.
So real quick, the issue that we have with water is that it's a lot of pollutants in our water. Like if we go to the tap water's got a lot of chemicals in it. That's not necessarily what you want. So the alkaline water popped up. Boom, everybody's drinking alkaline water now, which is fine because you do need the body to have a balanced pH level. The issue that some people have is that it's becoming alkaline through an unnatural system, right? They're using a machine or whatever to create alkalinity. Listen, if you can find natural spring water with a high alkaline, that's the best. That is the best water you can drink. You know what I'm saying? If you can do that, that's where you go. But if all you can grab is an Essentia, and it's you know what I'm saying, it's you're getting 2 for $4, whatever to get you an Essentia water and drink your water. You need water. We all need water. Distilled water, which you can get from the supermarket, which is kind of like dead water. That's the water you drink when you're trying to clean out. You know what I'm saying? It's really stripped of all its minerals. There's nothing in it. You want your water to have minerals in it. You want it to have a high pH level, yes. But when you're trying to clean out, distilled water is just fine. That's perfect, actually. All right, and it's really cheap. You get a gallon of distilled water for like what, $1.49, something like that. So that's not expensive at all. The alkaline water can at times get a little expensive, but you know, I just challenge people to make those choices based on the potential harm that can come in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, we all need water. I don't think it's that serious. Like just go ahead and grab you a bottle of alkaline water from the corner store and make it happen. There are, if you have the Kenjin machine, if you know anybody that has it, bottle your own water and drink it, you know? those things are great. They're all good. I don't think it's that serious, man. I think if you can find a natural spring, drink from a natural spring. But if you can't, get a bottle of water and drink it.
All right.
Some stuff in it.
All right.
Yep.
Appreciate you stopping by, sir.
Yes.
Look, Fee, I appreciate you guys. I really wish we could have did it a lot longer. If you can, I would like to do this again and set it up probably with somebody who has a lot more information on health and nutrition than I do. I appreciate you bringing me on to talk about it, but I know a lot of people who I'm sure your viewers and listeners would love to hear from. You know what I'm saying? So
If any of them have YouTube channels, you could big them up real quick as a form of information.
Well, yeah. If you have I don't know about YouTube, but on Instagram, Blends of Nature, for sure. That's a great place to check out in terms of, just getting health products, nutraceuticals, things like sea moss, all of those things, your juicing, your water, and just asking questions. A place where you can go to get references and all your questions check out Blends of Nature on Instagram. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys. See you later.
All right, Kevin.
All right, that was dope, Fee. A lot of great information there, so I really appreciated him. It was good seeing him. I haven't seen him in a long time, so.
Yes, it was. I hope everybody got their pen and their pad. Go get your sea moss, your ginger, your kale, your juicer, your blender. Get everything, because it's not just what's on the outside, it's the inside that we need to take care of, people.
All right, Fee, take him out.
Oh, thank you everyone for coming out here watching another episode with us. We enjoy being here with y'all. And as usual, you know how the saying goes, the love is free, the trust and loyalty is earned. So protect your energy, people. Hey.
Stay ready so I never have to get ready. Every few weeks, got a tendency to get petty. Share friends, I done had plenty. What's love got to do if jealous ones still envy? My circle tight like Ben Wall. Even on IG, still wouldn't friend y'all. When you a big deal, the hate be so real. Some days a hot head, my neck be so chill. Came out the projects, the Ville, the B is that. Pick up the litter, I ain't talking about tidy cat. No one can tame me, game done changed up. Got the large picture, mind frame changed up for real. I be on the low, I don't talk a lot. You talk more shit than the beauty shop. We can get it poppin' like the parking lot. We can get it poppin' like the parking lot.